First thing that we ever pitched to Miramax back in '95 was to make The Hobbit as a single movie, and if that was successful, we'd do 2 Lord of the Rings movies. And that was the pitch. That was what we, well, sort of, things went a bit differently, didn't they? But
yes.
So
wait, it was originally pitched to be 2 movies?
Yeah, well, The Hobbit was going to be, we were going to shoot The Hobbit first as 1 movie, and then if that was successful, we'd do Lord of the Rings back-to-back 2 movies. And that was the pitch to Miramax. That was the original pitch. And so that was, everything just changes, it's organic. So it's not, it would be really boring if it was 20 years where you had it all laid out, you knew exactly what was going to happen and you were just ticking the boxes. But it's certainly, it's an adventure. Every step of it's an adventure.
I do want to complain to you again, as I have before, that since The Hobbit, which was 1 book, became 3 movies, technically you owe us 6 more movies for the trilogy.
Sure, if Warners could find a way to do that, they would certainly be very happy.
Elijah?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Why don't
that you're here doing this? This is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I realize that.
Why don't you age? And Peter, did you know you were casting the immortal?
Maybe I have a painting in my attic that's aging for me.
It kind of goes, the same thing also goes for the elves. I mean, Orlando and Kate. I don't know what creams they're putting down on you, but darling, I want some.
That's a good idea. We should come out with one, shouldn't we? An elephant face cream.
As a fan, I do have a question for the elves, people who played elves in the movie. So, since elves are immortal...
You can call us elves. We like it.
You like being elves?
Distinguish between people who played elves and people who are elves.
You might be an elf. Do elves, do you have to think differently, or are you thinking as a human? Do you have to put yourself in the mind of an immortal when you do this? Do you have pity on the rest of your cast members?
I was typecast.
Yes.
They're incredibly generous. Look, I was just grateful to get a job in this one. I thought my time was over in Middle Earth. So.
Yeah, you and me both.
Are elves generous, do you mean? Or have Peter been generous to bring you back? What do you mean?
A bit of both.
Okay.
No, but I do think Galadriel was incredibly generous. It was a big stretch for me.
Just to get you out of the trailer, you mean?
Now, Peter, can we talk about the tone of the movies? When the trilogy of The Hobbit was announced, my understanding is that the tone of the movies would sort of progress toward the tone of the Lord of the Rings movies and sort of match up when you watch them all together. How would you say the tone has changed from the first movie, from An Unexpected Journey to Desolation and Smaug, and how's that extended in this movie?
Well, I think it's extended the way that you would imagine it would extend seeing the first 2. It's a progression, and it's certainly, I just about everybody in this room knows what's going to happen at the end of The Hobbit, never mind. There's a lot of sadness and tragedy, and, which is good. It's always great when you can kill off some main characters. I tell you what, as a filmmaker, thank God, when you can finally kill somebody, because it gives you a chance to do something, hopefully that's powerful and emotional, and otherwise you're a little bit, so anyway, we do get to kill a few of them this time round, so it's good. And I think you'll feel it getting quite, dark isn't the word. These are fun movies. They're fun, even, the Rings movies were fun. I don't think, they're just, but yes, it's not as comical as the first Hobbit movie for sure, and they're progressively getting towards the tone of the Fellowship of the Ring. Do you know Elijah was 18 years old when we did Fellowship, by the way? I was just trying to work that out.
And he's